Good afternoon and welcome to the New York State Interagency Winter Preparedness Workshop. My name is Erin Odell Keller and I'm with the Department of Public Service. I will be your MC for today's event. The workshop has 6 New York State agencies presenting information about programs to help New Yorkers manage their winter heating bills, become more energy efficient, and stay safe this winter. The goal of this workshop is to provide you with a one-stop shop for information, materials, and resources that can help you and your constituents during this winter. There will be a lot of information provided during the workshop, so please note that the webinar is being recorded. Copies of the slide and the recordings will be posted on the DPS website at dps.ny.gov/winter, and we will give that URL out several times today. Next slide, please. We have a full program today. Before we turn it over to the presenters, I will make some brief introductions. On the panel today, we have staff from the Division of Housing and Community Renewal, or HCR, New York Power Authority, or NYPA, New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, or NYSERDA, New York State Office for the Aging, or NYSOFA, New York State Department of Public Service, DPS, and last but not least, Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, or OTDA. There are 2 ways you can ask questions to the presenters during today's events. There will be an open question and answer session after all the agencies have given their presentations. In addition, you can enter a question into the Q&A box during the workshop, and you'll see that I believe at the bottom right hand of your screen. Please tag the presenter or agency to which your question relates. Questions that are entered during the presentations will be answered first during the open Q&A session. Next slide. We wanted to kick off the presentations with this quote from Governor Hochul. New York recognizes that affordability, including energy affordability, is a serious concern for many across the state. Since energy use can often be higher during winter bills may be particularly hard on vulnerable populations, such as the elderly and households with fixed or low incomes. The following presentations will focus on programs that are available to help New Yorkers manage their bills, be more energy efficient, and stay safe this winter. Next slide. I will now hand the microphone over to our first speaker today. Jasmine Catalano from HCR is here to discuss weatherization programs. Jasmine, please start us off today.
Okay, great. Thanks, Erin. Good afternoon, and thank you for including us in the presentation today. My name is Jasmine Catalano, and I am the Special Assistant Project Manager of Special Projects for the Weatherization Assistance Program at New York State Homes and Community Renewal. I'm going to be speaking about the Weatherization Assistance Program today. Okay, you can go on to the next slide, please. Let's start by reviewing some weatherization basics. The intent of the Weatherization Assistance Program is to increase energy efficiency in housing occupied by low-income persons. All types of residential housing can be assisted by the Weatherization Assistance Program. This includes multifamily buildings, single-family buildings, owner-occupied buildings, mobile homes, etc. With the program, there's a strong quality assurance component, and there's an emphasis on health and safety. The Weatherization Assistance Program, or WAP, receives funding through the U.S. Department of Energy and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services through the Home Energy Assistance Program. Income eligibility for the program follows HEAP income guidelines, which is 60% of the state median income. Next slide, please. Our weatherization funding. New York State Homes and Community Renewal, or HCR, receives annual allocations. The annual funding is provided by the U.S. Department of Energy, or DOE, which is the weatherization funding, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, or HHS, which is the LIHEAP funding. The regular funding for the 2024 Weatherization Assistance Program was about $67.5 million. With this funding, we will be serving about 6,500 units. The Weatherization Program also received additional funding through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, or BILL, and New York State received about $289 million. With this funding, we are projecting that about 18,000 units will be weatherized. The weatherization program has an average cost per unit of about $8,000. Next slide, please. Our program structure. Services are delivered by our nonprofit partners. The nonprofit partners include mostly community action partnerships and municipalities. We refer to our nonprofit partners as subgrantees. Households with incomes at or below 60% of the state median income are eligible for assistance. Assisted households are HEAP eligible clients. Priority is given to seniors, persons with disabilities, and families with children. Eligibility and building qualification rules for multifamily buildings. At least 66% of building residents must be low income. For multifamily buildings, there's an owner participation component, and owners are generally asked to provide an owner investment of about 25% of the cost of the weatherization work scope. There are tenant protections built into the program when multifamily buildings are weatherized. More information about the process and timing can be found in our Policy and Procedure Manual, or PPM, which can be found on our website at hcr.ny.gov/weatherization. Next slide, please. Typical weatherization measures. Prior to any work beginning, an energy audit is performed at the property. The investment into a building is determined by this energy audit. Each energy measure that is installed must be cost effective. Some typical measures that may be included in a weatherization work scope are addressing the heating system, air sealing, insulation of attics or sidewalls, electric baseload reduction, which could include more energy efficient lighting, health and safety work, which could include the installation of carbon monoxide detectors or smoke alarms, and incidental repairs. Next slide, please. Standards and protocols. There are standards and protocols that guide the weatherization program. We have our Policy and Procedures Manual, or PPM, which is a document that outlines the policies and procedures involved in the delivery of the weatherization program. There are standard work specifications that guide how the work is to be done. We have the Weatherization Field Guide, which also provides information on the standards that the weatherization work should meet. Quality control inspections are done on every completed building to ensure the quality of work and to ensure that the work meets our required standards. We also have other state and federal requirements. We follow procurement requirements such as formal bidding. Where applicable, buildings also go through the historic review process through the State Historic Preservation Office, or SHPO. There's also utilization of minority and women-owned businesses, or MWBEs. Next slide, please. Renewables and other innovative measures. The program has received additional sources of funding recently. We received $5.9 million through the Weatherization Readiness Fund, or WRF. The WRF funds can be used by subgrantees to address building repairs that prevent eligible WAB buildings from being weatherized. The funds are used to keep projects from being deferred or to work to take them off deferral lists and make them active projects. WRF projects have an additional emphasis on health and safety measures, and the average cost per unit for WRF projects is approximately $20,000. We also received $25 million for the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law Sustainable Energy Resources for Consumers Program, or BILL-CIRC, for 2024. The BILL-CIRC program will provide things such as energy retrofits, solar, thermal domestic hot water systems, and heat pumps to approximately 1,500 units. Next slide, please. Maintaining the whole house approach. Weatherization works because it addresses the whole building. Weatherization facilitates coordination with other programs, leverages other funding sources, maximizes energy savings, and preserves housing. And the program also identifies health, safety, and structural concerns. Next slide, please. Healthy homes and weatherization. Subgrantees must defer work where extensive hazards exist that cannot be addressed with weatherization funds, such as significant structural issues. Subgrantees will use WRF funds to reduce the deferrals where they are able. Trained WAB staff work lead safe to minimize the risks during the installation of energy efficiency measures. Trained weatherization staff identify and, where possible, correct mold, moisture, and other asthma triggers. Indoor air quality issues such as carbon monoxide are also addressed, and indoor air quality testing is done before, during, and after the work. Next slide, please. There are also non-energy benefits that are related to the weatherization program. Weatherization provides substantial non-energy benefits. A study was performed by the U.S. Department of Energy, and it showed that for every $1 of weatherization dollars invested into a project, the return is $2.51 in non-energy benefits. Non-energy benefits include things such as household income benefits, health benefits, reduced stress, improved indoor air quality, and potential property value increases. Next slide, please. Increased accountability and work quality. Our policy and procedures manual is updated regularly to incorporate new regulations, policies, and guidance. There are initiatives that ensure the quality of the program. We require the use of quality work plans and that the weatherization work meets the published standard work specifications. Those working on weatherization projects must complete ongoing trainings and maintain their certifications. There is oversight and monitoring of the program on an ongoing basis. There is an annual evaluation process, and we have ongoing compliance monitoring of the program. The weatherization program incorporates innovative technologies such as full energy audits, blower door tests, and gas sniffers. Next slide, please. This is our contact information. If you have any questions or would like more information about the Weatherization Assistance Program or how to apply, you can email us at the weatherization email address, weatherization@hcr.ny.gov, or call us at 518-474-5700. And you can also contact me directly, and my contact info is listed there as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you all today. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Erin.
Thank you, Jasmine. Our next speaker is Amy Liang from NYPA.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Hi, my name is Amy Liang, and I am a Senior Program Coordinator within our Environmental Justice Department at the New York Power Authority. And I'm here to talk to you today about the energy education and weatherization workshops that we host statewide. Next slide, please. So starting off with a little bit of background. So the New York Power Authority, or NYPA, is the largest state public power organization in the nation. And our vision is to build a thriving, resilient New York powered by clean energy. Our mission is to lead the transition to a carbon-free, economically vibrant New York through customer partnerships, innovative energy solutions, and the responsible supply of affordable, clean, and reliable electricity. Next slide, please. Within our Environmental Justice Department, within our public education pillar, NYPA offers these energy education and weatherization workshops to community-based groups located near our facilities statewide. Next slide. So starting off with a little bit of an overview of these workshops. So the main goal is to provide easy, low to no cost ways and solutions for participants to conserve energy at home, while also lowering their utility bills and improving comfort. It features interactive hands-on learning demonstrations on how we can apply some of these things that you see on the screen to our windows, to our doors, and where we can address things like drafts around the house. Workshops are about an hour to an hour and a half long, and food is provided, and we work with you to address any barriers. So we do host these workshops in the evenings, on weekends, and even on holidays. And at the end of the workshop, participants receive a free weatherization kit with a step-by-step installation manual. Next slide, please. So within these weatherization kits, they include everything that you see on the screen here. So we have squeeze tube caulk, LED night lights, light bulbs, door sweeps, hot water gauge, a window kit, weather stripping, refrigerator thermometer, as well as a smart power strip. So all these things will help you kind of take that next step at home following the workshop. Next step. Next slide, please. So our main topics that we cover in these workshops are heating and cooling, water conservation, energy efficiency appliances if you're in the market for a new appliance, lighting, as well as local resources for the community members. And our main goals is to help the participants identify the biggest energy users in their homes, answer any questions or concerns that they might have around their electricity, as well as identify actions that they can take. And at the end, with the weatherization kit and the manual, we'll be able to help the participants develop their own action plan. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these workshops help support communities' energy literacy. They help alleviate the high energy burden that are often faced by low and middle income families. They provide simple and renter-friendly demonstrations for homeowners and renters alike. They don't require tools, and they're semi-permanent solutions that you can remove at the end of your time at the apartment. And lastly, they're free for your organization and participants to attend. Next slide, please. So here are some examples of the stakeholders that we've worked with. Of course, it's not limited to this list, but just as an example for you to keep in mind. So we partner with community-based organizations, housing services organizations, refugees and immigrant centers, faith-based organizations, public libraries, senior centers, as well as housing authorities. And we also have the capacity to translate the materials that we have into any language that is needed by your participants. So we will work with you to address any barriers to participation. Next slide, please. And lastly, here's how you can host a workshop with us. So on the left here are the areas that we would ask for your support in helping us coordinate with the workshop logistics. So the date, time, everything related to that and the space. To help distribute this information to your participants and help us collect event registration, as well as provide any support that might be needed at the time of the event. And then on the right here is our contact information. Please bear in mind that we do partner with organizations rather than individuals because we don't have residential customers. So here is our contact information if you're interested in working with us. And my contact is under Amy Liang on the right here. So with that, I'd like to thank DPS for including us in this workshop today, the other agencies on the call, and thank you for your time. Turning it back to Erin. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, we have Uthman Aziz from NYSERDA to discuss the Empower Plus program. Uthman will be followed by his colleague, Jessica Ortiz Lomansny, who will discuss the agency's regional clean energy hubs. Uthman? I believe you're muted, Uthman. We still can't hear you. Maribel, can you move to the next slide?
While Ootman gets his audio set up, maybe we can go to the Regional Clean Energy Hub slides.
Sure.
Thank you.
Maribel, thank you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I was just in the process of apologizing. I'm getting over a cold, so I will hit my mute button every now and again to make sure that my coughing doesn't get to everyone's ears. But if you can still hear me fine, can you just give me a thumbs up? Okay, I don't see a thumbs up, but I'm going to take that as a yes. So again, thank you so much for allowing us to speak today. This will be the NYSERDA's overview of our program Empower Plus, which is offered through our single family residential program. There's a number of programs there, but we're going to give an overview of the Empower Plus here. Next slide, please. So Empower Plus, background a little bit here. It is our single family residential program. It's been serving low to moderate income households here in New York for about 20 years, and it's been with efficiency services that we offer. The Empower Plus program provides low to moderate income households throughout New York State no-cost home energy assessments and incentives to offset the cost of energy efficiency upgrades, with the emphasis of making the homes heat pump ready. And heat pump ready homes are those homes that we feel have sufficient insulation levels and are ready to make that transition to electricity. The program serves an average of about 100, or I'm sorry, average of about 25,000 households annually throughout our network of around 200 plus participating contractors and vendors. And thanks to the IRA, I think our number 25,000 this year's has gone dramatically up. So it's been a great program, and you'll see some of those changes with the IRA funds as well. Next slide, please. A little bit about the customer eligibility here. It is open. The program is open to both owners and renters. And so that's single family homes and 2 to 4 unit rental properties. Renters will need permission from the building owner to take advantage of comprehensive energy efficiency measures like installation and heat pump, things like that. And we'll get into that. But there are some direct measures that can happen in a home without having the permission of the owner. The requirements here, so low income, those are households earning less than 60% of the state median income, and moderate income households are households earning between 60% and 80% of the state median income and or area median income, whichever is higher. Next slide. So Empower Plus does have a series of funding, I guess funding canals, you can say. And so Empower Plus provides services statewide, but depending on the funding. So program funding sources requirements may limit where the program funds can be sent or spent, I'm sorry. And an example of that, you have system benefits charge, which is funded projects. And those are projects that are limited to households of main investor-owned utilities who pay into the SBC charge. So that excludes Long Island and also municipalities. But then you have new efficiency New York projects, and those are funded based on customers' eligible electric or gas utility. And then you have funds that are given to us through OTDA or REGI or state and federal funds, and these projects can be used statewide. So it's important for us to note here that Empower Plus project approval is subject to the availability of the funds at the time of the work scope submission. Next slide. Little overview of the program itself. It does provide no cost for both low and moderate income households, a home energy assessment for free, and also those direct measures that I mentioned. Those direct measures such as energy efficient lighting, weather stripping, those can be installed without the permission of the landlord. Those are usually installed right there as the home energy assessment is taking place. But then in addition to that, it also provides no cost or low cost energy efficiency measures, including installation and air sealing, replacement of old inefficient refrigerators and freezers, and then heating and hot water repair or replacement. And for replacements, we prioritize heat pump technology. Also, any work that is done inside the homes, they are eligible for a quality assurance inspection for up to a year after the work has been completed, and about 15% of the work that is done each year is selected for inspection. Next slide. So let's a little bit about the incentives. This does not include the IRA, but once I get to the IRA slide, it's very exciting here. Low For low income households for Empower Plus, it covers 100% of the cost of eligible work up to the cap. Okay, and the cap for a low income household is going to be 10,000. Now, in the case of a 2 to 4 unit home, if it's classified as low income, the first unit will be 10,000. That would be the cap. But then for the second and the third and the fourth unit, those caps will be at 5,000. So any work up to that cap is 100% free. And the way we kind of determine whether or not the unit is income eligible, whether it be low or moderate income, if 50% or more of the units are income eligible, then the entire project is considered low income. So if 2 of the 4 homes are low income, then the whole 4-family unit is going to be considered low income. Next slide. A little bit different for our, excuse me one second. A little bit different for our moderate income households. Again, it is 100% of the cost of eligible work up to the cap, and that cap for moderate income is going to be $5,000. And then you have the same scenario here where you've got 2 to 4. If it turns out that the entire unit is considered moderate income, then for the first unit it'll be 5,000 will be the cap, and then for every unit after that will be 2,500. So any work up to that point is covered. Now there is an option for low interest financing available for low and moderate income households, and those rates range from 4 to 4.5%. And so there's options for customers who want to take advantage of that if they want to get additional work done. Next slide. And so those 2 previous slides that's Empower Plus in a nutshell, right? But now we have the IRA, which is the Inflation Reduction Act funds that have kind of come in, and us being New York State has been the first state to kind of roll these funds out. You can see that we've attached those funds to our home electrification appliance rebate program, and that has been partnered with Empower Plus to be one offering. And so what has happened now to the caps, if you look to the far left, you have your regular caps, which is the 10,000 for low to moderate income, which is tier 1, and then you have your 5,000, I'm sorry, for low income, which is 10,000, and for moderate income you have your cap of 5,000. But then when you add that in the center there, these are the caps for IRA. And so your heat pumps, you have $8,000 additional funds that come into play. You have electrical services upgrades that come in. You have air sealing installation. So you can have a max allowance there of $14,000 on top of the cap. And so finally, on the right-hand side, you see that the caps now for your low income used to be 10,000. Now it's 24,000. Whereas your moderate income used to be 5,000. Now it's 19,000. And so thankfully, a lot of our work through our clean energy hubs, and also our participating contractors have kind of spread the word and got the word out there, and they're doing all they can to try to get the max cap for every New Yorker that applies. And that's exciting work, because what you used to be able to do with $10,000 or $5,000, now you're able to do that and more with the IRA funds. Next slide. And so the process for a customer, for them to apply, it's very simple. They can apply online. They can apply at your clean energy hub, and Jess will get into how that happens. And there's a number of languages for the paper application. If you go online, you can also print it and have it sent to your home, so you can fill out the application online, or you can fill out via paper. It all starts with a no-cost home energy assessment. And during that assessment, that's where we identify the opportunities for the household to save energy. We also do energy education. We provide that at that time. And then there's direct install during assessment. And that direct install, again, those are the light bulbs. Those are those other things that you don't need landlord approval for. So you have contractors that are looking for opportunities to maximize that as well. The contractor develops a work scope based on this energy assessment, and then they propose that work scope to NYSERDA. Next slide. So takes about 2 days. Excuse me. Takes about 2 days or so when we get the work scope from the participating contractor. That goes through a approval process based on, they have to submit geotagged pictures and a number of things to make sure that they are kind of articulating to us the process of work and the way they're going to go about it, and make sure that they're hitting those caps. And once approved, the customer confirms the project. through the contractor gets the customer to sign that information. Contractor uploads completion documents once the work is done. We're kind of skipping steps a little bit here because we're moving along as if it's the project is done already. And then NYSERDA issues payment to the contractor. It doesn't happen. Obviously, this isn't going to happen in 2 days, but it takes about 2 days to get everything, the paperwork started, and then you can have 30 days or 60 days. Some of that work is being done, and we like to get it done as quickly as possible, but efficiency, as efficient as possible as well. And again, the reminder is that 15% of those projects that are done are QA'd, and so contractors who are doing that work, they're held to high standards. Next slide. There's a number of ways. I'm going to cough again. There's a number of ways that we get referrals. And so NYSERDA routinely receives referrals from utilities and agencies like OTDA. Those referrals are basically letting us know that, hey, this particular customer is maybe income eligible. And in that case, we send out documentation to that customer promoting the program and asking them to reach out to us and to apply. Oftentimes, those referrals sometimes are communicated with contractors and or clean energy hubs as well. Next slide. And then we have a huge team that's help us, they kind of help us get all this done. So we have our intake implementation contractor that deals with all the paperwork. We have our technical services. We have our loan originator for those customers that want to take advantage of those loans, those low interest rate loans. Next slide. We have our quality assurance contractor, and that's currently Honeywell. So they are doing the inspections. In addition, I will say here that yes, 15% of those projects are selected for QA, but at any time a customer can request a QA as well. At any time, a customer who had work done can give us a call and say, hey, I want to make sure that everything was done properly, and so that also will get inspected as well. So then you have our loan servicing contractors, and then again you have the clean energy hubs, our regional clean energy hubs. There's 12 of those, and we'll get more detail from Jess on that, but they are instrumental on boots on the ground and making sure that customers have a clear understanding of how the program works, and kind of have that ability to walk through some of the measures and what the program offers. Next slide. Here are some helpful links here. And then you have your questions there at the 1-866 NYSERDA. So any of those links will assist you if you're interested, or if you know anyone interested in this program. You can take that application link. That's super helpful. Again, they can fill out the application online, or they can print it out. And again, when they print it out, they can print it out in several different languages as well to make sure that it's filled out and sent in to us, so that way we can get them on the road to energy efficiency. Next slide. I'll go ahead and turn it over to my colleague, Jess Ortiz.
Thanks, Zootman. Good afternoon, everyone. As Zootman mentioned, my name is Jess Ortiz Lamazny, serving on the NYSERDA Energy and Climate Equity team as a program manager. Today, I'll be speaking with you all about the regional clean energy hubs. Next slide. The regional clean energy hubs provide a holistic, multidisciplinary approach to ensure that all communities have equal access to the benefits and opportunities offered by the state's clean energy transition. This initiative is currently contracted for 4 years. We're looking for additional funding from the state to increase that project term, and we're currently in year 2 of the project. Hubs are located in each of New York State's 10 economic development regions. There are 12 in total, with 3 hubs located in New York City due to population density. Next slide, please. Hubs are a team of trusted, knowledgeable, community-based organizations in and from the regions they serve. The hub have experience with a number of topics, including clean energy, energy efficiency, workforce and economic development, education, and housing. through direct engagement, capacity building, and in collaboration with state agencies, utilities, and partnering community-based organizations throughout the region, the hubs engage residents, affordable housing providers, and small businesses with a focus on disadvantaged communities, as well as low to moderate income and market rate customers. The hubs listed on the screen are also on the NYSERDA Regional Clean Energy Hub webpage, and they're able to assist New Yorkers across the state with many of the programs mentioned on the call today. So I know there's a lot of information on this slide, but these are the hubs. Depending on which county you're in, you can contact, and it's also available on the NYSERDA webpage. Next slide. The hub's main focuses are to increase awareness of and access to clean energy solutions and opportunities, increase participation in the programs mentioned today, and other utility and state and federal programs, as well as coordinating those application processes and project processes, increase uptake of those clean energy projects with support for accessing wraparound services. Oh, could you go back one slide? Could you go back one slide? Thank you. Increasing wraparound services and resources, so ways to stack or braid funding so that the customer takes the most advantage of the resources that they're eligible for. Advance local capacity to engage with community members about clean energy policy, technologies, and opportunities. Increase partnership and diversity of contractors that result in scalable activities and projects, and support career pathways for individuals currently residing in disadvantaged communities and priority populations by referring them to training programs or apprenticeship programs. Next slide. Hubs accomplished these goals by making connections and being present within the communities they serve across the state. Hubs organize and attend already existing community events, including but not limited to food pantries, Earth Days, and career fairs. They provide education on energy literacy, similar to NYPA's clean energy literacy workshops, and provide information on clean energy programs. They also develop technology agnostic campaigns that focus on installing needed technologies and home improvements such as heat pump, solar, and weatherization efforts. And they're continuing to create partnerships and leveraging resources to expand the hub network and create lasting relationships within their communities. Next slide. They also provide program and loan application assistance. This is the bread and butter of the hub program, to refer community members to NYSERDA and state and federal program and resources. They do this by creating one-on-one connections with community members who have requested their guidance in navigating the many clean energy programs available across the state. And while the hubs are doing this engagement work, they're implementing strategies to collect feedback and share information to NYSERDA to elevate voices from the communities on the front line of the climate crisis. So that results in direct changes to how the programs are implemented, as well as how programs are designed from the beginning. They also, as I mentioned, advance diversity in the clean energy workforce by connecting residents and small businesses with resources and training opportunities. Next slide. Within 2 years, the hubs have collectively assisted over 4,000 customers, referring and assisting these customers with over 8,000 programs. So just to keep in mind, one customer might be eligible for multiple programs, such as HEAP, WAP, EAP, or Empower Plus, like Utman mentioned. As I mentioned, the hubs are actively engaged with the community members across the region, and they've participated in over 2,000 outreach events, engaging an estimated 80,000 people. So hubs are here to support communities across the state to gain access to new opportunities to benefit from the clean energy transition. And this includes, again, just quickly, includes tapping into income eligible programs, incentives and rebates, as well as available apprenticeships and job training opportunities. So I really do encourage you all on the call who are interested to reach out to your regional clean energy hub today. Next slide. And these are our contact information, Ootman and mine, and my colleague, Lori Clark, who also works on the program. Please feel free to reach out to any of the NYSERDA contacts on the screen, or reach out to your regional clean energy hub. So thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to you all today. I'll pass it back to Erin.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Uthman. Now that we're at the halfway point of the webinar, I'd like to give you two quick reminders. First, we will be taking questions after all of the presentations are complete. However, you can type your question in the webinar's Q&A feature during a presentation. We will capture the question and address it after the last presentation. Please remember to tag the agency or presenter that you would like to address your question to. Second, today's workshop is being recorded. The recording and the copies of the slides will be made available after the workshop. Let's keep moving with Alicia Sauer from NYSOFA to discuss services for older New Yorkers and their caregivers. Alicia?
Thank you. My name is Alicia Sauer, and I'm a program coordinator with New York State Office for the Aging, and I'm here to share information about winter energy and safety resources for older adults. It is our sincere hope that by attending this webinar and through these discussions that this information will be beneficial to you, your family, neighbors. So really appreciate everyone's time this afternoon, excuse me. Okay, we can jump right in. Next slide, please. Thank you. New York State Office for the Aging. It's our mission to help older New Yorkers be as independent as possible for as long as possible. And we focus on hard to reach populations and diverse populations. We do this through advocacy, development, and delivery of person-centered, consumer-oriented, and cost-effective policies and programs that support and empower older adults and their families in partnership with a network of public and private state and community organizations. We'll talk more about the network, but we are working in partnership with the agencies that are taking part of this webinar today. And we recognize that access to affordable energy is a driver of social determinants of health. So NYSOFA, through our partnerships, we are working on energy affordability, energy efficiency, and access for older adults and caregivers. Through this, we are part of the Home Energy Assistance Program, and we participate in the Interagency Task Force, the Weatherization Policy Council, and the Extreme Heat Work Group, their Emergency Management Access and Functional Needs Work Group. And we're here with you today. We have the Interagency Winter Workshop group that collaborates. Next slide, please. Before we get started, we want to help the community understand the power that are older adults, and we want to combat any stereotypes on ageism. So by doing this, we want to really highlight some of the social, economic, and intellectual contributions of older New Yorkers. There are 4.6 million older New Yorkers aged 60 and above. We know that it's a very diverse group, so 60 to 110, a very diverse group. We're intellectually, in education and life experience, so we're representing and reaching out to everyone. What is impressive is that the economic value that older adults bring to the services that we provide in community services. So 935,000 individuals ages 60 and up contribute to 495 million hours of community service, and that adds to an estimated $13.8 billion. Also, 64% of individuals ages older than 60 own their own homes, and that's without a mortgage, and they're contributing directly to the local tax base. 4.1 million caregivers, average age of 64, provide unpaid care for a loved one at a total market value of $32 billion. And I can attest to this, that individuals aged 50 and above account for most of the volunteering, philanthropy, entrepreneurs, and donation activities in the U.S. And lastly, 80% of the New York State retirement system payout stays right here in New York State. Next slide, please. What we know is that age in and of itself is not an indicator of frailty or economic need. But we do know that there are disparities that older adults and other populations are impacted by more greatly. And one of those is energy costs. So we're talking about an energy burden, and that might be a term that's unfamiliar to some. An energy burden is the percentage of the gross household income that is spent on energy costs. Households with the highest energy burdens include older adults, lower income individuals, persons with disabilities, Native Americans, racial and ethnic minorities, renters and residents of multifamily units, and other disadvantaged communities. An energy burden is also affected by where you live. So it varies throughout the state. The median energy burden target is 6%. Again, it varies depending upon many factors, but that is the target. And we know that there are older adults and other populations on this list that could be paying 17 to 30% of their monthly income on energy costs. Oh, next slide, please. The impact of an energy burden is greater than just the economic impact. We know energy efficiency and affordability is a driver in social determinants of health. It's also a very real health concern. I think there's a lot of conversation about extreme heat and the dangers, and we're becoming more familiar with extreme heat, and that's an area of focus for us. But also in the winter, it's important that you yourself know, so you can help educate the people you care about or serve the dangers of cold. So we know that older adults are more likely to have certain chronic medical conditions that make it harder for them to stay warm. Diabetes is an example. It can prevent blood flow that would normally provide warmth. Thyroid problems also affect the ability to maintain a normal body temperature. Parkinson's disease and arthritis can make it challenging to put on more clothes or use a blanket or to even get out of the cold. And this can cause an increased risk of fall. Cardiovascular concerns can also rise due to the cold. We know that when we're cold, our blood focuses on our body's core, and that can increase blood pressure, and that carries risks. And lastly, certain medications can reduce blood flow to the extremities. And this includes some over-the-counter cold and flu medications and some prescription medications used to manage blood pressure. So it's important that you check with your healthcare professional if these are considerations. Next slide, please. We're going to talk about health and safety risks right at home. To me, it was shocking that 20% of injuries related to exposure to colds occur inside the home. Older adults and persons with disabilities are the highest risk groups and face poorer health outcomes. We all know about frostbite, but hypothermia can occur when the body's core temperature drops below 95. Hypothermia can also occur at cool temperatures above 40 if you become chilled from rain, sweat, or being in the cold. The health risks of hypothermia include arrhythmia, heart failure, and damage to the kidneys or liver. Hypothermia affects the brain and makes it difficult to think clearly, so people may not realize what's happening and that they may need help. It's important to be aware of the warning signs and early symptoms, including cold feet, puffy or swollen face, pale skin, shivering or shaking, slowed or slurred speech, feeling sleepy, angry, or confused. And we'd like to thank the National Institute for Health on Aging for this information. Next slide, please. This is where the Office for the Aging comes in. The key part to avoiding the dangers of extreme colds have to do with prevention. And through the Offices for the Aging, we are a trusted provider in the community for older adults and caregivers. We have 59 area agencies on aging. They are often known as the County Office for the Aging. We also have other organizations that are not county operated, but every single county is represented. And we also have 2 tribal nations that serve as offices for the aging. We have the trusted relationship with the network, serving vulnerable populations with a 40-year record of strong community-based relationships. We have experience with hospital transitions, evidence-based programs, and cultural and linguistic competence. We have a holistic approach. We want to help keep people at home. So we serve as the eyes and ears for medical professionals across all settings. We want to be a single point of entry for individuals needing an array of services, and we'll talk more about our New York Connects program. And lastly, we serve clients for life. We're not episode focused or insurance driven. We are not involved for a short period after a hospitalization. It's our intent to be with individuals that in the community and in their homes for as long as possible. Next slide, please. As we shared, there are 59 offices for the aging, local offices for the aging. We have over 1,000 contractors supporting the local community-based care and needs of older adults and their caregivers. There are 77 and rising senior centers or older adult centers in the community. At these locations, there are evidence-based health programs, activities. It's a place to come together and share a conversation and a meal. We have 819 congregate meal sites throughout the state, which is wonderful. It's our goal to help improve socialization and supports to older adults in the community. And the congregate meal program is a wonderful avenue for that. We have 315 central kitchens where food is prepared locally and provided, and it is used for the congregate meal programs, but also the home delivered meal program. There are over 2,000 home delivered meal routes in every area of the state, and 41 highest level evidence-based healthcare initiatives serving 35,651 older New Yorkers. Okay, next slide, please. It is our goal at NYSOFA to help older adults maintain independence, and we do that through person-centered support and through qualified professional services. New York State case managers are of the most highly trained in the nation. The case managers that are working in the community receive a comprehensive training and have a certification. The services that we provide are community-based, as we mentioned, the senior centers and congregate meal programs, but we also have an array of home-based community services. Most familiar to folks are the home delivered meals, and we provide personal care, case management services. When we get a referral, we complete an assessment, a comprehensive assessment with the individual. And through that, we have a series of areas that we look at together with the individual to develop a person-centered care plan. When we speak to folks, one of the pieces that we also look at is home energy, and if they are eligible for programs that we're talking about today, such as HEAP or weatherization. There's also a safety element that when case managers are in the home, they're looking for fall hazards, perhaps a heater that is positioned in a way that it could present a trip or a fire hazard. So that is taking place. We offer volunteer opportunities. Most of our volunteers that support our programs, including the many drivers of home delivered meals, are older adults themselves. We support caregivers and provide caregiver respite. Legal services are also provided, home modification and repairs, referrals for programs like HEAP, SNAP, and weatherization. New York Connects serves to be the one-stop for offering long-term care service and support options, and that is for individuals of any age can access New York Connects for information. The Health Insurance Information and Counseling Assistance Program called HICAP, where you can call and have a trusted, non-biased provider speak with you regarding your individual situation and your healthcare options for insurance. So that's very important. One of the pieces I wanted to highlight was our innovations and the technologies that we're using to address social isolation. At NYSOFA, addressing social isolation is a priority. We know that there's a direct correlation between individuals receiving social supports, engaging, contributing to their community, to their outcome and their health. We have technologies that we are using at the local level with many of the offices for aging, and these include LEQ, Blooming Health, Get Set Up. If you would like more information about any of these, I encourage you to visit our website. There's also social day programs, transportation, employment programs, referrals to Title V, and we also administer the Long-Term Care Ombudsman program. Next slide, please. We are able to provide these referrals and assistance through our partnerships. And today I'd like to acknowledge our state partners in promoting energy efficiency and affordability. I had experience just this week with having to reach out to one of the partners. We receive referrals frequently for individuals who have not been connected to the Office for the Aging for many reasons, and we receive a referral at NYSOFA, and we work to understand what's going on in the individual's life and how we can assist them. And through this, we work with the local Office for the Aging. This week we've had 2 heat-related issues that have come up, and the local Office for the Aging has been involved and helped to triage that. So individuals were getting, ensuring that they're getting access to benefits, but also looking at the home to see what weatherization improvements could be made. So I know up next we'll hear from the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance on their home energy program. And we also have been very grateful for their clean and tune and equipment replacement and repair that has helped replace heating units for older adults. The Power Authority, HCR for weatherization programs, and the Department of Public Service. So thank you. Next slide, please. New York Connects is that trusted one-stop for learning about long-term care and services and supports, and it's available in every community. It's available to individuals of any age in need of long-term care services and supports. They provide personalized referral and application assistance. We have an online resource directory. You can call the statewide number and we will connect you to the New York Connects program in your local community. Next slide, please. If you want to be connected with the local Office for the Aging, there is information. You can reach out to our website. We also have a directory for the Offices for the Aging. So there's a link on the next slide. Maribel, are you able? Thank you. There's a helpful directory of the local Offices for the Aging. There's also information about the Health Insurance Information Counseling and Assistance Program, as well as the Ombudsman Program. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We thank you so much for participating in this webinar, and to our colleagues and state partners who are working on a daily basis to make sure that individuals with lower income have access to the services and supports that they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. I will now turn it over to my DPS colleagues. First up is Timothy Marsh to discuss energy affordability programs. After Tim, Jill Wasser and Esmond Brown Anderson will describe the agency's consumer outreach programs and how folks can get more information about DPS initiatives and specifically winter preparedness information like we've discussed today. Tim?
Thank you. We can go to the next slide. Good afternoon. My name is Tim Marsh with the Department of Public Service. I'll be discussing the utility energy affordability programs, but first, a brief description of the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission regulates the state's electric, gas, steam, telecommunications, and water utilities, as well as oversees the cable industry. Part of the Commission's mission is to ensure safe, secure, and reliable service at just and reasonable rates. Next slide. In 2016, the Public Service Commission established a statewide low-income bill discount program for major electric utilities and gas investor-owned utilities. These discounts help customers move towards a 6% energy burden, and all customers are automatically enrolled when participating in the Home Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as HEAP. In August of 2021, the Commission issued an order that made program improvements. The modified discount calculation better reflects actual customer data, and eligibility for the programs was expanded to create a uniform process and application to allow a customer to self-certify for program enrollment. Next slide. I think one more slide forward. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's Apologies, I'm just off by one. Okay, yeah, that was correct. The next slide. Okay, enrollment in energy affordability program can also occur when customers are enrolled in various public assistance programs. For example, National Grid includes this list of qualifying programs. Note that qualifying programs may vary by utility, and DPS is working with them and other stakeholders to develop a consistent statewide list. Next slide. If utility customers are not automatically enrolled in the EAP and are receiving benefits from a qualified program, contact the utility by phone, email, or other service provided by the utility, such as a chat function. All utilities have outreach and education programs, which include various methods of dispensing low-income program information to customers. Next slide. The major utilities have more information specific to their service territories. The provided list has links to the affordability energy programs for each major utility. And as a reminder, these slides will be made available to the attendees. Next slide. The Energy Affordability Guarantee was established in the Governor's 2023 State of the State Address. The guarantee is intended to mitigate energy burden impacts that occur when low-income households fully electrify, such as through heat pumps for space and water heating through NYSERDA's Empower Plus program. The guarantee is to be provided for the useful life of the equipment and will be administered as a pilot program to inform future policy, strategy, and other programming to support electrification in the low-income market segment. The Public Service Commission approved the pilot program on August 15th of 2024, and it is funded through fiscal year 2025 in the New York State budget appropriation at $50 million. Staff's implementation of the plan was filed on November 15th, 2024, and can be found in case 14M0565. The pilot launch is expected in the first quarter of 2025. Next slide. The 2023-2024 New York State budget appropriation established an expanded energy affordability program for utility customers that are below the state or area median income, but do not currently qualify for EAP. The criteria and procedures for the expanded discount program is being discussed in the EAP working group. I will now pass the mic and the next slide to Jill Wasser.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I am Jill Wasser. I am part of the outreach team on Long Island, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce or reintroduce the Department of Public Service, Long Island. Our office was established as part of the LIPA Reform Act to oversee the electric service currently being provided by PSEG, Long Island. Our office has multiple divisions and a wide variety of staff, including attorneys, accountants, engineers, consumer services representatives such as myself, economists, and other subject experts. We investigate all complaints on behalf of Long Island ratepayers, not only for electric service, but also for gas, water, telephone, and cable. And we enforce statewide consumer protections under the Home Energy Fair Practices Act, otherwise known as HEFPA. Again, our office's primary role is to ensure safe and reliable electric, gas, steam, telecommunications, and water services to all homes and businesses on Long Island at fair rates while protecting the environment. Our staff also welcomes walk-in customers looking for help with utilities on Long Island. Another part of our responsibility is reviewing infrastructure upgrade plans, assessing customer service and operation performance, and moderating costs and budgets. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. As I said earlier, I'm a member of the outreach team here on Long Island, and our team conducts consumer presentations and exhibits at community events. We also provide the community with a wealth of information and enjoy partnering with groups such as yours to help our community receive safe, secure, and reliable service. We would love to partner with you if you have any events and would like to request a speaker or exhibitor. Please contact us at consumer.outreach/li@dps.ny.gov. And as you can see on the slide, our contact information is listed. You can also reach out to us via phone or email. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you again, and now I'll turn the floor over to my colleague, Esmond Brown Anderson.
Great. Thank you, Joe. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Esmond Brown Anderson, and I am with the Department's Outreach and Education section. Again, my name is Esmond. DPS's Winter Outreach and Education campaign will use a variety of tools to reach utility customers, including event exhibits and presentations, partnerships with service organizations and the local governments, and platforms such as social media channels and department's website. As mentioned previously, the purpose of this workshop is to provide a one-stop shopping forum for information, materials, and resources that can help you and your constituents during the winter season. Similarly, at our department's website, we have a dedicated page for winter preparedness, which can be reached by using the short URL listed on the slide. The page has a lot of information you heard during this workshop, including ways to manage winter bills, financial assistance programs, consumer protections, and energy efficiency tips. The page has links to New York State and utility assistance programs, as well as copies of DPS's consumer publications in multiple languages. Materials can be downloaded and printed, or hard copies can be ordered from the website. Next slide, please. Consumer assistance events. Department staff distribute consumer information throughout our grassroots outreach programs, including exhibits at public events such as senior expos, health fairs, and home shows. We also work collaboratively with our partner New York State agencies to host winter preparedness one-stop shopping events. Today's virtual workshop is the start of our winter effort, which will continue throughout the coming months. Today's workshop targets elected officials, service organizations, and consumer groups to provide program information you can share with the consumers you serve. To reach consumers with hands-on assistance, available resources, this multi-agency partnership will be taking our one-stop shopping events on the road to share winter preparedness information with New Yorkers in person. These energy fairs will allow consumers an opportunity to discuss available programs, how they may qualify, and how they may enroll. Dates, times, and the locations of the energy fairs will be posted on our winter page. And lastly, DPS Outreach is available for presentations about our agency and winter management information. If you have a meeting or event that your organization or community would like us to exhibit at or give a presentation, please contact us at consumer.outreach@dps.ny.gov. And now I will return the mic over to Erin. Thank you.
Thank you to Tim, Jill, and Esmond. Finally, our last speaker today is from O to Da, Emily Urban will discuss the Home Energy Assistance Program, or HEAP.
Thank you, Erin. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. All right, well, thank you to DPS for hosting this today and for all of our state partner agencies for sharing information on your programs. So I will be going over the Home Energy Assistance Program. Next slide. And next slide again. Thank you. All right, so LIHEAP is the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. That is the federal oversight program, and that is where we get our money to run our program. So LIHEAP is a federally funded grant program that assists low-income households in meeting their energy needs while providing the largest benefits to households with the highest energy needs. And like I said, we receive our funding annually through a block grant. So each year, the amount of money that's allocated to LIHEAP is different. So that's why we have to kind of plan and operate a different program every year, slightly different. We try not to make too many big changes. So the nationwide LIHEAP funding this year so far is $3.7 billion. 90% has been released to date. So that's pretty normal. They release 90% of our funding up front, and then usually by the springtime, if the federal government is able to, they release all or part of the remaining 10% of funding. So far, New York State's share of that LIHEAP funding is $360 million. Next slide. So with that money this year, we're going to be running all of our usual programs. So that would be regular, emergency, heating equipment repair replacement. We call that usually HER or HAIR, clean and tune, and cooling. So availability for these benefits and program dates are up on the screen, but they are subject to the amount of funding that we receive and the need for these benefits. So these are the intended closing dates, but they could be moved up or out depending on how much funding we have. Clean and tune and heating equipment repair replacement, those benefits are both open right now, and those are going to be operating year-round. Regular HEAP opened up on November 1st. The biggest change we made to the program this year is we're operating both a first and second emergency the day that emergency opened. So emergency opened a few days ago on January 2nd. Normally we would have just our first emergency benefit available initially, and we would assess whether we have the funding for a second emergency, which so this year we're having the second emergency available at the first time as the first emergency, so you don't have to wait. Once the first emergency benefit is exhausted, you can go ahead and apply again for a second emergency if you are in a subsequent emergency situation. And finally, cooling will open this spring on April 15th, and that is intended to run through the summer or until we run out of funding. Next slide. So how we determine income eligibility is based on household size and monthly income. A household's income could place them in either Tier 1 or Tier 2. These income guidelines are on the slide, and they are also on OTDA's website. New York State elects to set the income guidelines at the maximum allowable levels under the federal statute. The income guidelines have slightly increased this year from last year. In addition to income, we have some general requirements for all HEAP benefits. These include citizenship requirements. The applicant must be a New York State resident and file in the county where they live. They must pay a vendor directly for heating costs or pay rent that includes their heating costs. The household must provide valid Social Security numbers for all household members that have a Social Security number. And the household's income must fall within the income guidelines based on their household size. Next slide. So the regular benefit is what most people think of when they hear HEAP. The regular benefit is a one-time annual supplement designed to assist eligible households with the cost of heating their homes. The regular benefit opened up on November 1st of 2024 and is scheduled to operate until March 17th of this year, or until that funding is exhausted. Applications for regular benefits are submitted to the local district where the applicant lives, and the local social services district will make the eligibility determination. Regular benefits can be paid to households that heat their home with gas or an electric utility, or houses that heat their home with a deliverable fuel. These benefits are always issued directly to the household's heating vendor. For households that pay indirectly for their heat in the form of rent, heat included benefits may be issued to the household directly to their EBT or CBIC card. If the household pays a vendor for electricity, that heat included benefit can be directed to the electric vendor. Our benefit amounts range from $21 up to $996, depending on the household's heating type, income tier, and household composition. Next slide. So as I said, regular heater benefits are paid to eligible households that have a direct vendor relationship. So this means that they have a heating bill in their name for their primary heating source, or they paid their vendor directly for their heating costs. Base benefit amounts for regular heater benefits are based on how that household heats their home and whether the household falls into Tier 1 for their income level, and if they have a vulnerable member in their home. For HEAP purposes, a vulnerable member is a child under age 6, adult age 60 or older, or a disabled individual. Our base benefit amounts for regular heater benefits are $900 for households that heat with oil, kerosene, or propane, $635 for wood, coal, or other deliverables, $400 for natural gas or electric. So these benefit amounts have not changed from last year. There are add-ons that could be paid on top of that base benefit, and that would be $35 for households with a vulnerable member, or $61 for households with income in Tier 1. That Tier 1 add-on has increased for 24-25. Last year, that benefit was $41, and that was increased by $20 this year to $61. So the households that have our lowest income will receive a little bit of a higher benefit this year. Depending on the household circumstances, they can receive both add-ons, either or both add-ons, for a total up to $996. Or sorry, 900, yeah, sorry. Next slide. All right, regular heat included benefits are paid to households that live in certain living situations where heating costs are included in their shelter expense. Renter benefits are $50 for Tier 1 heat included renters benefits, $45 for Tier 2 heat included renters benefits, $21 for heat and eat, so these are the households that reside in subsidized housing, group homes, or congregate care facilities. And there were no changes to the amounts for the 24-25 program year. And there are also no add-ons for heat included benefits. Next slide. Eligible applicants can receive one regular heat benefit per program year. Applicants can apply for HEAP in 3 ways. The auto pay, so this benefit is automatic for recipients of ongoing SNAP or federally funded temporary assistance. They can apply online by My Benefits for areas outside of New York City. In New York City, they can apply online through Access HRA. And households can also apply with a paper HEAP application, that's the LDSS 3421. HEAP applications can be downloaded from OTDA's website. Applications can also be picked up from a local social services office or alternate certifier office. Or the Department of Social Services can mail an applicant application to the household if one is requested. Next slide. So next up is our emergency heat benefit. So this benefit just opened. It's kind of, it's really hot right now. Well, it's freezing right now, but the benefit is hot. So emergency benefits assist eligible households in a heat or heat-related emergency by providing a payment to the household's energy vendor to restore heat or prevent a no-heat emergency. Emergency benefits also provide for temporary relocation and propane tank deposits. Emergency benefit amounts are up on your screen. The emergency component opened on January 2nd and is scheduled to close on March 17th. So a household can apply now through their social services district. So as I said a few slides ago, we do have a first and second emergency benefit available right now. So if a household exhausts their first emergency benefit and they are in a subsequent emergency after that benefit runs out, that household can apply again with her social services district for that second emergency benefit. So nothing has changed about the benefit itself, just how quickly it's going to be available this year. To apply for an emergency benefit, contact your local social services district. Most emergency applications can be taken right over the phone. Next slide. Heating equipment repair replacement, so HER benefits, are available to assist eligible homeowners in replacing or repairing primary heating equipment that is inoperable, unsafe, or detrimental to the homeowner's health. For hair, there is no resource test, or excuse me, there is a resource test. So that's up to $10,000 for all repairs and replacements. So that means that the household must not have available resources exceeding $10,000 after allowable deductions. Clean and Tune benefits assist eligible low-income households to have their primary heating system clean and tuned. So for both Clean and Tune and hair, the applicant must be the owner of the home for at least 12 months and reside in the home. And applicants can apply for these benefits by contacting their local district office. And applications for hair and Clean and Tune are currently being accepted year-round or until that funding is exhausted. And finally, cooling benefits are available for HEAP-eligible households containing at least one individual with a documented medical condition that is exacerbated by extreme heat, and that program will be opening up on April 15th. Next slide. So anytime we can spread the word on HEAP, we encourage everybody to do so, to get the word out about the program. We want to serve as many households as we can every year, get them in. Benefits are on a first come, first serve basis. So if somebody wants a benefit, they need to apply before that program closes. So even though the program date may be out, those dates could change. So there are a number of publications that are on our OTDA's website for ordering. That link is on the screen and will be available after this. So you can go onto our website, look at our publications, and you can order those publications free of cost to promote the program. Next slide. So that does it for me. Our contact information is up on the screen. If somebody is wondering where to apply, I kept saying Social Services District. That is going to be available on OTDA's website, which is otda.ny.gov/programs/HEAP, and you will go to local district contacts from there. And that does it for me. So thank you again to DPS, and I'm sending it back to Erin.
Thank you, Emily. That concludes the presentation portion of today's workshop. We'll now move on to the Q&A section of today's program. We'll start by addressing some questions that were submitted during the workshop. Then we'll open up the floor to additional questions. So the first question we received was for HCR. Are these programs available to the whole state of New York or just certain programs in certain areas?
Hi, Erin. Thanks for that question. So all the programs that I spoke of are available throughout the entire state. Like I mentioned in the presentation, our program is carried out by local nonprofits in each of the counties. So you would reach out to your provider in the county that services your property address, and they would walk you through the application process and would be able to move through those steps like I described. And our brochure on our website has all of those subgrantees, those agencies broken down by county for you. So you can find those on our website, or you can also reach out to our contact information that I provided or call the number that I provided, and we can assist you in finding those local providers. They can assist you in applying for our programs.
Thank you so much. Our next question was how often, for NYSERDA, how often can a renter access this program if they move every few years? Boothman, we can't hear you if you're talking. No, still can't hear you. Is that oh, yep, now we can hear you.
Okay. Not sure why that keeps happening. So the program is not going to be applicant specific. It doesn't follow a person's social security number or anything like that. It follows the address. So if I'm a renter and I rent at 123 Main Street and I get approved for Empower Plus at 123 Main Street, and then I moved 6 months later and now I live at 456, Clark Street, and I apply for the program. Obviously, your utility and your income does matter. But the program is going to be site specific. The program is going to be for the actual address. Now, as of February 1st, there will be a look back process for a person that applies. We will look back to see if that particular address did receive incentives and what amount they received. And we'll try to, as everybody applies, we make sure that, they try to get to those caps as best as they can. So if a customer applies today and they have their cap of 29,000 or 24,000 and they only reach 10,000 or 11,000 with specific measures, they can reapply to try to get to that next cap, because every time we come in and with the incentives, we try to make sure that we're preparing you for the next measure. I hope that answers the question, but again, it's going to be address specific. So if a renter does move, the concern should not be, well, I applied for this program before when I lived at that other address. It really, if you're income eligible and the home has not had those upgrades or those measures, you can and should certainly apply.
Thank you so much for that clarification. That is the questions that we received during the workshop. So now if anybody would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we'll unmute you. So to raise your hand, if you've joined us electronically, you can click on the hand icon that's at the bottom of your screen. I think it's probably for most people, it's to the left of the big red circle with the X in it that gets you out of the WebEx. Don't click on that, but you can click on the hand function. If you've joined us by phone, please press *3 on your phone and that will raise your hand for us to see you and unmute you. And please remember to say the name of the agency or the program related to your question. Thank you. I see Mary Gonzalez. Maribel, can you unmute her, please? Thank you. Mary, go ahead. You may have to unmute on your end, Mary. I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Would you be able to type your question into the chat then, because we can't hear you? Into the Q&A, I'm sorry.
Erin, I think she has some questions for Emily.
Okay. Are they being typed into the Q&A?
They had a question from Marcy Donahue. Are these programs available to the whole state or just to certain programs in certain areas? Was
We've
that
already,
question?
yes, we already
Okay.
did that one.
Okay. Can we get a copy of the full presentation, Mary? Is that the question? The answer is yes.
Yep. Actually, that was going to be the next thing I was going to say, but the copies of the recording and the presentation will be up on the DPS website at dps.ny.gov/winter. We also will email a copy of the presentation slides to anyone who joined us today. So following the event, we'll send you a copy of the slides. But for anybody else who you may be talking to, they can access the recording and the slides through that website address, dps.ny.gov/winter. I hope that addresses your questions.
She has some specific questions for Emily. She indicated that she sent them in. I guess the question is sent them in where, Mary? Via chat.
Um,
Hold on.
can,
Chat. I think chat was available.
okay. So Mary, we do have your email address because you entered the WebEx through your computer. So we can always get that information. And well, Emily, do you want to go ahead and give your email address again?
Sure. You can email questions to OTDA HEAP at nysheap@otda.ny.gov.
Okay,
So
Maribel,
again,
can you
that's,
go back a slide? Emily's slide should be just
yeah,
in front of this, right?
yep. So nysheap@otda.ny.gov.
I'm sorry. Mary's asking. Mary's asking for phone number where she can call in. You have that available?
518-473-0332.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go back one slide, Maribel, all that should be on the slide. Okay. So hopefully, Mary, you can contact them either through an email or by phone and get your question answered. Thank you. Does anybody else have a question? Please raise your hand if you do. Again, pressing the hand icon if you're in electronically or by pressing *3 on your phone. I'll just give it another minute or two to see if anybody comes up with a question. Okay. All right, Maribel, do you want to move on to the last slide or the second to last slide? Yes. So unless we get another question, I was going to say that this concludes our workshop about how Governor Hochul and the state agencies are assisting New Yorkers this winter. On behalf of today's panelists, I'd like to thank you for your time. As a reminder, copies of the slides and the recording of today's workshop will be posted at the DPS website at dps.ny.gov/winter. And you can put it to the last slide, which lists all the agencies again for you if you didn't remember who was doing this. So again, thank you for your time, everyone, and have a safe and healthy winter. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you.